You only need two things: a hat stretcher, aka a hat jack. You can see it's tapered. This top side is longer on both ends, so that way when you put it in the hat, you align it with the top, and the bottom doesn't stretch out the outside of the hat. And today we have an American Hatco hat, 2X, that we are going to get stretched out a bit. So as that kettle heats up, what you're gonna wanna do is just put this hat jack right inside the hat. Make sure you align it. I'm doing this with one hand. There we go. You'll probably want it more on the outside of the hat rather than on the inside of the hat, like outward rather than more inward, so that you're not stretching out the outside. And once you have it aligned, and it might not look straight inside the hat, especially if the hat is already kind of formed to your head, because our heads are not symmetrical. Like usually for me, I'll have like a little point around here for the front of my forehead that kind of stretches out the hat. On my Stetson, it's actually easily visible when I put this hat jack in, because there's a gap between the wood and the hat itself. This is a vintage hat, but it's unused and new to me. It's my size, 7.5, 60 centimeters, but it's still too small, even though it's a long oval, and my Stetson is a regular oval, but that's a longer oval than this hat is, which is interesting. And now that this steam is going, you want to steam mostly the back side of the hat. I do it just a little bit on the front, and then, ooh, that steam is hot. And then you crank it more, and you'll hear the hat creak. You see how it's getting misshaped as well? You'll have to re-steam your hat a bit to kind of get the shape back. And now that I've cranked it sufficiently, and I've cranked it quite a bit, you can see this leather sweatband kind of pulling. My hat is not the type of hat that has a reed in it, in the sweatband. Most hats, the vast majority that you'll find, will have a reed basically around this section, except it'll be wider and it'll be more obvious that there's something inside of here. And either it's metal or nylon. And if you have those, the hat will go back to its original size every single time. So what you're going to want to do is either use this method, and then every time you wear the hat after you're done, put the hat jack back in, which seems like a hassle. I would probably and preferably just cut the reed out of it if the hat really is too small for you. See that misshapen looking brim. And when you have it in here, just go ahead and, you know, a lot of people will say to kind of try to fix the brim now at this point, but I think I'll wait and I'll just do that at the end. So I'm gonna let this sit in here for like, you know, about maybe 45 minutes or something like that. Overnight's not really gonna do too much more than about an hour. I'd say an hour is probably the most you really need to keep it in there for. I guess I'll keep it out in the sun right here as well. Keep the felt a little bit warmer, and the leather sweatband as well, which is also what you're kind of trying to stretch out. And you can also kind of see on the outside of the hat, it's starting to stretch out right around the bottom. That's why it looks a bit misshapen. And for now, that's okay. You'll want to use some steam to try to smooth out the hat as much as possible after you've gotten it stretched. Super helpful. Now, $17 to $22 wherever you kind of look. Amazon, eBay. Check the description.